Mia's "oh." Just that. One syllable. It hit me harder than a fist. My fork clattered. Her phone, forgotten, lay by her plate. Her eyes met mine.
Wide.
A flicker. Not surprise. Not anger. Pure, unadulterated fear.
For me.
For us. For the chairs. For the stairs. For her friends. Her shame. A silent scream in our quiet kitchen. I felt it. All 300 kilos of me. A suffocating truth. The sound of her silence. Louder than any siren. It echoed. A cold knot twisted inside me. A tangled mess of old wounds. How did I become this? This giant body. This crushing weight. A shadow, heavy enough to eclipse my daughter's light. My heart ached. A dull, relentless throb. It wasn't just my joints anymore. It was everything. Every breath. Every thought. Once I ran. Felt the wind tear through my hair. The pavement, a rhythm beneath my feet. Lungs burning, alive. I laughed. I danced. I could tie my own shoes. That was Patricia. Not this ghost. Not this burden. Her words hung in the air. Unsaid. But loud. Oh, they were so loud. Like a siren blaring inside my head. The knot in my stomach tightened. It wasn't just a knot. It was a whole tangled mess of old feelings. Old hurts. A reminder of how I got here. How we got here. I wasn't always this. I was Patricia. Just Patricia. Vibrant. Active. That feels like a lifetime ago now. I was 42.
No, wait.
I am 42 now. Back then, when it all started, I was younger. Much younger. Maybe late 20s, early 30s. I had just gone through the divorce. It was brutal. Not just for me, but for Mia. She was so little. A tiny sprout, barely understanding why Daddy wasn't home anymore. I remember feeling so lost. So utterly, completely alone. Even with Rob in the picture later, those early years, raising Mia, they were just me. My responsibility. My burden. My joy, of course. But also my constant worry. Food became my comfort. My quiet friend. After a long day, after Mia was finally asleep, the house quiet, the TV humming, I'd reach for something. Anything. A cookie. A bowl of ice cream. A second helping of dinner, even if I wasn't truly hungry. It was a warmth. A little hug from the inside. A way to numb the ache of loneliness. The gnawing worry about bills. About being enough for Mia. I neglected myself. My own needs. My own body. It was so subtle at first. A few extra pounds here. A dress that felt a little snug there. Nothing major. I told myself it was just stress weight. A temporary thing. I'd get back to it. Next week. Next month. But next week turned into next year. The stress didn't go away. It just changed forms. And the comfort eating, it never stopped. It spiraled. Slow. Insidious. Each pound adding to the last. Each lost piece of my old self buried under another layer. Until I was here.
Now.
Over 300 kilos. Patricia, the vibrant and active woman, was a distant echo. Mia cleared her throat. She still wasn't looking at me. Her little fingers picked at the crust. The silence between us stretched. Heavy. Thicker than usual. I knew what she was picturing. What she was fearing. The chairs. The stairs. My size. Her humiliation. My heart sank deeper. It was a weight I couldn't shed. Not with a diet. Not with a wish. It was woven into the fabric of our lives now.
À permanent fixture.
A shadow that followed us everywhere. Even in our own kitchen. That night, sleep was a battle, not a comfort. My dreams were a jumble of Mia's worried face and splintering wood. The next morning, the first flicker of consciousness brought with it the familiar ache. Not just in my heart, but in every joint, every weary muscle. It was a dull throb that permeated my entire body before I even opened my eyes. Just lying there, my own weight felt like a crushing burden. My lungs worked harder, even at rest. A shallow, unsatisfying gasp for air was my constant companion. Getting out of bed? That wasn't a simple act of swinging my legs over the side. It was an operation. First, the strategic roll onto my side. A monumental effort. My body felt like a sack of lead. My back groaned. My hips protested. Slowly, painstakingly, I'd push myself up. My arms, already tired, strained against the mattress. My feet searched for the floor, usually with a clumsy thump. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, I'd be upright. My vision would swim for a moment. My breath, already ragged, would quicken. It took everything I had just to stand. The few steps to the bathroom were a trek. Each footfall was heavy. The floorboards creaked in protest. My breath hitched. I'd grab onto door frames, walls, anything for support. The mirror in the bathroom. I avoided it. I made sure to avert my gaze. A quick glance at my face, just enough to apply a little moisturizer. Then my eyes would slide away. I couldn't bear to see the full reflection. The vastness. This stranger staring back. It's just the lighting, I'd whisper to myself. You're tired. It's not as bad as you think.
Lies.
All lies. Dressing was another daily humiliation. My closet held a sad, predictable collection. Stretchy leggings. Oversized tunics. Flowy, shapeless dresses. Anything that wouldn't pinch, wouldn't bind. Anything that offered even an ounce of give. The bright, tailored clothes of my past life were long gone. Buried. My fingers would fumble with the fabric, pulling it over my body. It always felt tight. Always felt like it was straining at the seams. Even the comfortable clothes were just less uncomfortable. I'd smooth down the fabric, trying to minimize the rolls, the bulges. A futile effort. It's practical, I'd tell myself. Comfort is important. Who needs fancy clothes anyway? But the truth was, I longed for just one outfit that made me feel pretty. That made me feel like Patricia again. Downstairs was a challenge I often tried to minimize. We had a small flight of 3 steps from the landing to the kitchen. 3 measly steps. Each one felt like climbing a mountain. My legs burned. My lungs screamed. I'd brace myself, take a deep breath, and hoist myself up, one agonizing step at a time. By the time I reached the kitchen, I'd be leaning against the counter, gasping for air. My chest felt tight. My head light. Just out of practice, I'd mutter, waving a dismissive hand. Need to get more active. The irony wasn't lost on me. How could I get active when simple movement was so debilitating? It was a vicious cycle, a silent, daily torture. And every morning, a fresh reminder of the woman I had become. Mia was a quiet child. Always had been. But lately, it was a different kind of quiet. Not the thoughtful, observant quiet I knew. This was a guarded quiet. A watchful quiet. Her bright eyes, usually full of questions and stories, would dart around. She'd bite her lip more often. It started subtly, almost unnoticed. I'd be huffing and puffing after those 3 steps, leaning against the counter, heart pounding. And there Mia would be, appearing as if from nowhere, holding a glass of water.
Cold.
With a slice of lemon. Here, Mom, she'd say. Her voice soft. Barely a whisper. I'd take it grateful. Thanks, sweetie. You're a lifesaver. I'd tell myself she was just being helpful. A good daughter. Then came the clothes. Mornings were a battlefield. Sweat and fabric. My reflection in the mirror was a stranger. A swollen, sagged stranger. I'd pull out a tunic. Too tight. Another. The arms barely fit. I'd sigh. A heavy, defeated sound. Mia would be there.
Sitting on my bed.
Not playing. Just watching. She'd get up. Walk to my closet. Her small hands would sort through the hangers. She'd pull out the largest, loosest dress. The one I usually saved for my absolute worst days. The one that felt like a tent. She'd lay it on the bed. Smooth it out. This one looks comfy, Mom, she'd say. A gentle suggestion. Never a direct comment. Never question. Just that quiet, knowing look. My heart would twist. A pang of shame.
Did she see?
Did she know how much I hated this? Going out became another struggle. Doctor appointments, grocery runs, school events, each one a monumental task. I'd spend ages trying to get ready,
Sweating.
straining, dreading the stairs, dreading the car. Mia would hover. Do we have to go today, Mom? Her voice would be small, almost pleading. Maybe we can just order groceries? Or, Grandma said she could pick me up from school today. I'd try to laugh it off. Silly goose, of course we have to go. But the laughter felt hollow. My chest would ache. She wasn't just being lazy. She wasn't trying to get out of things. I saw the worry in her eyes. The way she'd glance at my swollen ankles. The way her little hand would tentatively reach for mine. A squeeze. A silent plea. She'd started doing it more and more. If Rob mentioned us going to the park, Mia would pipe up. It's going to be so hot, Dad. Mom gets tired in the heat. If Jessica suggested a lunch out, Mia would quietly suggest we watch a movie at home instead. It's cozier here, she'd say.
She was trying to protect me. Shield me.
From what? From herself? From the world?
I saw it.
I did. I just didn't want to name it. I didn't want to admit that my daughter, my sweet, sensitive Mia, was becoming withdrawn because of me. Because of my size. Because of what my body had become. She wasn't saying the words. Not yet. But her actions screamed them. She was embarrassed. Terrified. Not for herself, but for me. And that hurt more than any cruel stare from a stranger. It cut right through me. A silent, constant reminder of the burden I was becoming. Not just to my body, but to my child's heart.